as well.
Okay, so how would you like this thing?
Just turn it around.
Okay.
It's okay like that?
It's good. Okay, so welcome everybody to our meeting on love or about love. The meeting then is love. I'm Sergeant add-on, so I'm just going to be doing a bit of the housekeeping. Does everyone know where the toilet is? It's to the left around the corner. If you go too far past, you pass it. There's a toilet over there. And while we're here and while the speakers are up, then please remain seated unless there's an absolute emergency or crisis. Then of course we're very understanding about that. And then there'll be a break after about 40-50 minutes, and then we'll come back and reconvene, and then if we could all please remain seated. So I'm about to hand over to Madam President. Go.
Good evening, everybody, to our fellow Toastmasters, to all our members online, and to all our wonderful guests. Welcome. It's lovely to see you all here this evening. I know I mentioned this in our previous online meeting, but I just wanted to share with you an experience that we had last Thursday. We went to visit Talking Heads, and for those of the other members that are aware, we had Trevor, who was our area director, he was the VP, what was he, the VPM of Talking Heads, the Vice President Ben Bishop? No.
No, he's the president.
Oh, he was the president.
President, yeah.
So he was the president, and very sadly, he passed away 2 weeks ago after having a triple bypass. And Gabrielle, Sean, Sally, and I went to visit their club last week. And it was such a lovely experience because it was a tribute meeting to Trevor. And what we experienced, I speak for, hopefully for everyone, but I speak for myself right now, is there was so much love in that room, and everyone in that room that spoke remembered him with such love and such joy, and how he was so humorous and how he always wanted to help people, and he was just one of those sorts of people that was always there to help his fellow Toastmasters. He even helped us at ToastEd all the time. We had him for, I think it was the beginning of October. He came to visit our meeting and he gave us some really great insight, and we will always treasure that. And I just wanted to share that we attended that meeting, and it was really special. Just being able to be there for the other Talking Heads members. I think they really appreciated us being there. And thank you to Sean. He shared a really beautiful tribute for Trevor in the meeting. So thank you, Sean. That was used your words really beautifully. And I think another thing I took away was that you could feel the connection between everyone in that room, and I felt it. I mean, I don't know Trevor very well at all, but I could feel the connection that they all had with him, which was really, really special. So I felt like I left that meeting being able to just, think about Trevor and think about how tonight we are going to embark on a really special theme of love. And it was just something I wanted to share with you with regards to that meeting last week. I think we all went there with our hearts very full. To begin, we have our newest member of ToastEd. We're going to welcome Andrea up to the stage while we induct her into our club. Got a whole lot of scripts here. Let's make sure we're both in the camera. Oh, okay, fabulous. So I'm going to just read a little bit about Andrea, what she shared with us. So Andrea is a wife, mother, and a business owner, and she is committed to living life to the fullest and pursuing her passions and seizing every opportunity. I love this. One of Andrea's great passions is music, which recently inspired her to explore the art of DJing. She had the chance to share her music with a small crowd not too long ago. We definitely have to touch on that a bit later. Additionally, she found excitement in a new hobby, riding motorbikes, an activity she shares with her 80-year-old father, a lifelong bike enthusiast who still rides to this day.
Wow.
Amazing. Adding to her life of pursuits, Andrea has taken the courageous step of venturing into public speaking by joining Toastmasters. The goal is to become a more confident speaker and enhance her communication skills. Wow, great. That is exactly the place you're going to be doing that. So that's wonderful. So Andrea, this is just the little time that we have that little vow, and it's a little marriage between you and ToastEd. And you can just say I do at the end of all of them. You're just going to say, you'll say I will, but and you can just say it otherwise after every point. Let's just keep it down to one. We welcome Andrea to our club. Being a Toastmaster means more than simply making a commitment to self-development. Everyone who joins as a Toastmasters club is making a commitment to the club, to its members, and to the organization as a whole. Please indicate your commitment by saying I do at the end of each point. But let's do it at the end, otherwise it goes on forever. As a member of Toastmasters International and ToastEd Toastmasters, do you promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of your projects to the best of your ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful and constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all of our members to learn and grow, to willingly serve your club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat your fellow Toastmasters and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits of Toastmasters, and to adhere to the guidelines and the rules of all Toastmasters education and recognition programs, and to act within the Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities.
I do.
Yay! And then all of the members of ToastEd, will you, the members of ToastEd Toastmasters, pledge to support this new member, Andrea, in her quest for self-development, to provide her with positive and helpful evaluations, to maintain a friendly and supportive atmosphere, to give opportunities to others, to help others, and to make their Toastmasters membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience? If so, please say, I will.
I will.
And then, sorry, one other thing that I wanted to mention with regards to Andrea.
I don't mind.
I don't know what that means. Is it plugged in? Oh, it needs to be plugged in. So,
I'll do that. You carry on.
okay. Oh, it's just this needs to be turned on. Sorry, that's totally me. With Andrea, she is very privileged to have Libby as her mentor. So thank you, Libby, for standing up and sharing your knowledge. Okay. Before I move on to welcoming all our lovely guests, we have a few members of our ToastEd Toastmasters who have finished a level. So I'm going to please welcome Sean, our Vice President of Education, to come up so he can share the progress with everyone.
Thank you, Madam President. So first I have Chantal Fit for achieving level 1 of visionary communication. Chantal.
Oh, go a little bit closer.
Yeah, I do want a picture.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sammy.
Can you stand in front of the camera so everybody can see you? Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
You're getting into trouble.
You know how to get into trouble. Thank you.
And now to Justine Norman for achieving level 1 of effective coaching.
Oh, I even did a little banner thing. Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sean, you would have to do the awards because it's too awkward to give yourself an award. Not appropriate.
Okay, so we've done that. Then we also have 2 other awards that I saw come in quite recently. And the first one was the Treasurer's Excellent Award. And we have to thank our dearest Verity for being such a great treasurer and making sure that everyone is paying on time. And we've got all of our members paid up until March 2024. So thank you, Verity.
Thank you. And I still have to invoice everyone for their club admin fees. I forgot to do that. So I'm not so excellent.
That's okay, because Toastmasters International doesn't know about that.
They don't know about that. You will all
Yeah.
get messages from me.
And then we also have received the Retention Award, which means that we've retained 75% of all of our members, which is, I presume, because of our beautiful Vice President of Membership, Gabrielle, who always ensures that everyone feels loved and connected. So thank you, Gabrielle. And now onto our lovely guests. Gary, welcome. You have joined us. Gary is the new Cullinan Hotel food and beverage manager. So he's joined us for the next 2 meetings this year that are in person. So you don't have to panic, you don't have to talk a lot. I just want to know why you're here. What do you hope to get from being at Toastmasters?
I think much the same like everybody else in this who started out is to, boost that confidence, public speaking, being able to walk into a room and not kind of stutter or stumble over your words. And yes, just boosting that confidence, speaking in front of people.
Awesome, thank you. The stumbling over words happens to the best of us. It's also the nerves that come through in it. And then we have got Shelley. Welcome. I won't ask you a lot, but what brings you to Toastmasters today?
So I've got a lovely friend,
Yes.
He's invited me along to experience what Toastmasters offers, and I haven't ever come to a forum like this before, so it's a lovely opportunity.
Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy the evening with us. And then we welcome Melissa. You have travelled far and wide to visit us today.
Hello, everybody. So I'm Melissa. I come from a club called Working Speakers, and that's near London. So it's about 30 miles from London. And Working is particularly famous for 2 things. The first one is its key attraction is Brookwood Symmetry. So that's the main attraction. And the second one is it's the local authority that had the highest debts and has just been bankrupt. However, the Toastmasters club there is really great. And so I'm president of that club. I've been there for 4 years. We're here on holiday with family. I thought I'll come and visit the Toastmasters club to kind of talk to you people, also see how to do the online things better because we don't do any. And I've already learned something because I had no idea there was a retention award. And it's something that I really ought to know as a president. So I look forward to talking to all of you, as many of you as I can. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, thank you. It's open for feedback, so please share any feedback you feel is necessary with us at the end. And thank you so much for joining us. And then Monica, what brings you to Toastmasters today?
Hi everybody. So it's a little bit of a synchronicity story. I was reading a book recently and it talked about Toastmasters in the book, and I thought that sounds quite interesting. And one of my clients had talked about it several months before. And then I thought, let me go online, and I Googled Toastmasters, and I thought, how am I going to find a club and how am I going to know where to go? So I said, universe, please send me to the right club. And in that weekend, I went off to a workshop. And I walk into the workshop, and the first person I meet is Justine, and she goes, "Hi, I'm Justine. I'm from Toastmasters." And I was like, "What?" And so here I am, and I want to learn how to have more confidence in front of the camera and how to just lead a group, because I'm going to start coaching soon, and I want to know how to speak to my students. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
So thanks so much.
What brings you to Toastmasters this evening?
Hello, my name is Martin, and yeah, I just looked up on the internet to where you can do public speaking, and because I did it in German language before 2 years ago, and I was inspired also by the TED Talks online, which I saw, and just wanted to bring in more confidence in my life, speaking also in English, and I'm really looking forward also to inspire other people.
Okay. Wow. Wonderful. Thank you. What brought you to Toastmasters this evening?
Well, we both came to from the same meetup and saw this, this club. And for me, it's kind of the same. I love improving the confidence. And it's also, I just feel like when I'm in front of groups and it's about a topic that really inspires and moves me, I can move a lot of other people, and I want to improve that to be able to tell those stories with more like passion and intensity.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks so much for sharing. Very special guest online, John's daughter Maureen. Maureen, are you willing to say hello to us?
Hi.
Hello. And support your dad this evening, so thank you. That's really, really thoughtful. What's the name?
What was that?
Oh, sorry, I was trying to support. Are you here just supporting your dad this evening, or is there something you are wanting to take away?
I'm just here to support today.
Great, thank you so much for being there. I just have rambled on for a little bit too long here. Last reminder that's really super important is on your tables, you will notice that there are these little notes. I encourage you, please, please, please use them. What they are for is when anyone speaks, you write a little acknowledgement, you write a little compliment, you write anything that comes to mind and you share it with that person. It's a really beautiful way to connect with one another and for the people to grow as speakers. So it just gives them a little bit of confidence or whatever it might be. So this is the only time you are allowed to pass notes around the room without getting into trouble. So please, please, I encourage you to please make use of them. Love letters, yes. Before I hand over to our graceful Gabrielle as the Toastmaster of the evening, I would like to please raise a toast to South Africa and all her speakers. May I please ask you all to stand and we toast to South Africa and all her speakers.
To South Africa and all her speakers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And now it's my pleasure to hand over to the Toastmaster of the evening, who ensures that the evening runs smoothly and successfully, and you're in very capable hands with Gabrielle. Thank you. So sorry, we've gone over.
Yeah, so now I don't have extra time.
Sorry.
Nothing is perfect. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests. A Toastmaster meeting has always a Toastmaster meeting has always a Toastmaster, which is the MC, guiding you through the event, seeing that everything runs in time, and speaking a few words as well about the theme of the evening. It is love. And love is the most written, sung, filmed theme of this world since the beginning, I think. And I would like to start with a little story. On Friday, I went to the airport to fetch our son, and I was too early for a chance, and I was too early, and I sat in the first row, opposite the sliding doors of the arrival. And I watched the people coming out, and they were hugging, and they were kissing, and I thought, oh my God, aren't they lucky? And then I saw a mother and her daughter standing there on the side. I'd seen the mother walking up and down in front of me before, and they were holding each other so tenderly. And I felt a little bit intimidated because I was in their intimate sphere, but what could I do? they didn't know. So I sat there and I just looked. The daughter's eyes were glowing into the distance. And in this glow was so much love. And this love started to glow in my heart. And I was just flabbergasted. And then they disappeared, and I sat there absolutely mesmerized. And every movement of love, this energy of love from people coming through the door, lovers, parents, grandparents, children, hugging each other, kissing each other, went right into my heart. And my heart was glowing more and more. And I started to cry. And I sat there, and I was so happy nobody knew me. And it just, the tears were running. And then last but not least, our son Moritz arrived with a huge luggage trolley, or trolley of luggage. And he said, Mama, what's the matter with you? And I said, Moritz, I love you so much. And if you ever want to experience a hub of love, go to the airport. Just sit there quietly and wait what happens. And if love is so important, and peace and happiness are so important, why do we have so little in this world? Why do we fight? Why do we hate? Why do we have all these problems? Have we perhaps got the idea of love wrong? And if we are longing for love and peace and happiness, is it not perhaps that the longing comes from a memory? We only can long for something if we have known it. Could it be that this love is buried deep in our inside? And we have forgotten to look there. What we are looking is we look on the outside. It is like a horizontal line, where here is the person and here is love. And we run there seeking, looking in objective relationships, addictions, stuff, just stuff. But it's always away. What if we look on the vertical line and we just let ourselves sink deeply into ourselves? Discarding on the way, if it is a way, but it is a way without a way. Discarding on this sinking all our thoughts and feelings and perceptions, which are part of the person, but not of the being. Until we arrive, if it can call it arrive, at an empty space. It's not a space. It is a feeling of I am, the essential being we are. And when we have arrived, then the feeling of peace and happiness are there. They're just there because we are born with that. We are peace and happiness, but we have lost it because layers upon layers are sitting there and having just buried it. And so, what is then love if we are peace and happiness? Love is when we recognize that that being we are, behind all the conditioning and belief systems and feelings and thoughts, that being which is there behind all of that is the same being as we are. And that recognition that we are all one being is love. The experience that the other is no other, that is love. And that is something you have to discover. You cannot go out and look for it. You actually have to go deep inside. And as we are all in this idea of love or the knowledge of love tonight, let's do a little exercise. Each time when a role player or a speaker comes to the front here, let us support that speaker, that role player, with love. In Buddhism, there's a term, it's called, in an old tradition, it's called Tonglen. It means sending and receiving. So I invite you all, for every person who stands here, and I bet many of us are standing here with fear. Will I be good enough? Can I handle it? We support everybody with the idea of confidence. So we are breathing in that fear for them, and we are breathing out confidence or love for everybody who's here. So as a Toastmaster, may I come now to my job and invite or introduce part of our team for this evening. It is the and R counter. Yoni Simon is going to be our and R counter. Will you please come forward and describe your role? And we breathe in her fear, we breathe out her confidence and love to her. Yoni, please come.
Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen for overused words, including and, well, and so, and you know. I'll also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Chantel, she is our grammarian for this evening. Please welcome Chantel Pierce.
Okay, welcome everybody, fellow Toastmasters. As grammarian of the evening, I'll be listening for any outstanding phrases, words, things that you've been saying, and I'll also be listening for incorrect language, and I'll be giving you feedback afterwards. As grammarian, it is my job to give you the word of the day, which I think Gabrielle really sums up nicely. For me, a beautiful word is called agape love. It's a transcendent form of love. It's God's love. It's a perfect love. So I have an agape love for my children. I think that's the closest kind of love that I can say, or God has an agape love for us, if you want to use it in a sentence. Thank you.
And I would like to introduce next our timekeeper. Willem, will you please come and speak about your role? Please welcome.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmasters, and all our visitors. I'm the timekeeper tonight. So we all like long holidays, but we don't like long speeches. So my role tonight is I will be using these cards. There's also a little one-eyed robot thing that I'll try to play with. For those that are doing icebreakers, on 4 minutes I'll give you show you the green card. On 5 minutes the yellow, and on 6 minutes the red. And for those that are doing prepared speeches, we will green on 5 minutes, yellow on 6, and red on 7. And then late in the evening, we get to the evaluators. Then we'll do green on 2 minutes, yellow on 2.5 minutes, and red on 3 minutes. And when we get to table topics, 1 minute we'll do green, on 1.5 we'll do the yellow, and on 2 minutes we'll do the red. Okay, thank you, Madam.
A wonderful, fun role, and it's called the Fine Master. May I ask Catherine to come forward and explain her role? Welcome, Catherine.
So, Madam Toastmaster, President, fellow Toasters, and guests. So my role this evening is Fine Master, my favorite role. And basically I've got to write down all the funny things that people say and do in the evening. So please just take it all in good humor and jest. It's really nothing personal. If you get ragged, everyone has at some point. And then I'll go around with a glass, and you can just put in a few coins at the end, and we use it towards our agendas or whatever. So yeah, watch out, you might be fined. Thank you.
And the big part of an evening with Toastmasters are our speeches. And to know whether your speech is given in the right way and whether you need perhaps some support and some, maybe as well, some corrections, we have evaluators. So we have the great honor of having as our first evaluator, Verity Price tonight. And she's going to evaluate John Lynch, who is living in Wyoming. And we would like to welcome Verity. Thank you, Verity, will you please explain the role and describe what John has to do? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle. So a speech where he is practicing enhancing a speech with vocal variety. So I'm going to be paying attention to how he uses his voice in various ways to the speech that he's giving. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Thank you. Please welcome John Lynch with his speech El Arborol es grande. John Lynch, El Arborol es grande.
Puppy love, also known as the teenage crush. That's the kind of love when you're very young and you feel a strong attraction to someone, but your love probably is not mature enough to be a true love or an agape love. Do you remember your puppy loves? Do you want to remember your puppy loves? This story is about a puppy love of mine. It begins when I was 12 years old, in adolescence, and there was a new girl at our school, and she made eye contact with me and smiled. I had to meet her. So I went up to her and I said, "Hi there." And she said, "No inglés." This was a problem because I didn't speak any Spanish at all except for one sentence. So I decided to use my sentence. I said, "El árbol es grande," which means the tree is big. She looked at me and smiled. Didn't know what else to say since I only knew one sentence. So I decided to say it faster. "John, el árbol es grande." And she said, "Gisela." Then I decided to say it slower. Gisela, el árbol es grande. And she blew me a slow kiss. I decided to say it in a high voice. And I said, "Gisela, el árbol es grande." She gave me a high hug, kind of at the shoulders. Then I decided to say it in my slowest 12-year-old, sexiest voice that I could possibly muster. I said, "Gisela, el árbol es grande." And she gave me a nice 12-year-old snuggle. Now this went on for days. Every day I would see her and come up with a new way to say el árbol es grande. But unfortunately, one day I decided to say it in kind of a devil voice. And I said, "Gisela, el árbol es grande." And she made the sign of the cross, backed away from me, and she was out of my life forever. So I thought. 10 years later, having completely forgotten about el árbol es grande and Gisela, I went off to start a new career. I went off to become a law enforcement officer, and I went to the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. And there we learned a new language. We learned the language of arrest commands, and we learned it in Spanish and English. In English, it would be, "FBI, you're under arrest." In Spanish, it would be, "FBI, usted está arrestado." To graduate from the FBI Academy, I had to take a number of final exams. And one of those was an arrest situation. And I was told that I would be arresting a woman in Spanish. I was given a wanted flyer for her. I looked at her picture, and she was a beautiful Latin woman. It described her as tiny, but it said, do not, under any circumstances, underestimate this woman because she is A&D, which means armed and dangerous. She is so voluptuous that she uses her beauty to slit the throats of Spanish-speaking men in order to get their insurance money. So my instructions were, Special Agent Trainee Lynch, be careful, be cautious, and use correct Spanish arrest commands. So I went looking for this woman. Her name was Martina. And I walked through our pretend village at the academy looking for her. And then finally I saw her. Oh my word. I thought this woman is voluptuous. But I had to arrest her anyway. So I said, Gisela, el árbol es grande. And unfortunately, at that point, the instructor stopped the arrest problem and said, Special Agent Trainee Lynch, el árbol es grande is not one of the approved arrest commands in Spanish. You have been learning. And unfortunately, standing before you today is probably the only person in the history of the FBI Academy who failed an exam because of puppy love. Fortunately, however, the good Lord was looking out for me, and with his agape love, I was given another chance to try again and pass this exam, and I did. El árbol es grande.
So we are having our first evaluation right after the first speech because Verity has to move on to something else. And so we are going now to enjoy somebody who is the best evaluator in the country, in the world, probably, I suppose. Not only the world champion, but she's a champion of everything as well as evaluations. Verity, over to you.
Thread the words. Me. I'm just saying, John, can you hear me? Oh. John, just checking.
Maybe turn your
Verity,
video.
I'll turn my video off.
Yeah.
Everyone's connections are down. It's very strange. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
What an absolutely delightful speech, John. You took us on a dialogue-filled journey into an introduction of basic Spanish. That was, I mean, the bits I caught, I was very sad every time the screen would glitch because I was really enraptured by your story and just this world that you immersed us, boy, through to your police days. It was fabulous. Completely nailed it. Your pace was fantastic. I could follow you. You were pausing in the right places. It was really easy to enjoy the story with the pace that you set. And then you showed us why dialogue is the heart of a great story. You brought story to life with dialogue. And that break in the and continue to shift the pitch of your voice incredibly, the speeding it up, the slowing it down. And I think this was a masterclass in how to do a humorous speech as well. It was fantastic. Your body language, even though that's not what I was meant to look at, but you know, our voice and our body should match, and your body language was 100% on point with what you were saying. And when you were holding up the gun and your voice was matching what you're saying, it was absolutely fabulous. The next thing I want to comment on is your use of to oh, she was voluptuous. Your choice of where you emphasized those words and stretched them hugely strengthened the way you used to bring this speech across. So honestly, when this beautiful speech, you tied back to the beginning at the end, using down allow your voice to breathe life into the story. So I hope you are going to have a puppy love affair with bringing continued vocal variety to all your speeches. And el vocal grande, that's all I've got for you. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, Verity.
Thank you, Verity, for, as far as we could hear, an excellent evaluation for an excellent speaker. And I hope we got somewhere the whole speech, the whole evaluation together so we can listen to that again. May I invite now for our second evaluator, which is Libby Edmonds. She will evaluate Tabang Redman. And Libby, will you please describe the role and the speech objectives?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Gabrielle. I am going to be evaluating Tabang tonight, and it is my pleasure to evaluate her on her first speech, her icebreaker. And the purpose of this project is for Tabang to introduce herself to the club and to learn the basic structure of public speaking. And I know that you are all full of agape love tonight. And so you are going to support our wonderful ToastEd Tabang in her icebreaker speech. Thank you.
With an icebreaker, afterwards, our honoring is to stand up and give standing ovation. So may I invite our speaker, Tabang, to come to the front. Tabang Redman. Tabang Redman with Jabulani, Tabang Redman.
Jabulani, Jabulani. That is a song by PJ Powers. And Jabulani is a Zulu name that means be happy. Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Tabang, and interestingly, my name also means be happy. I'm somebody who aspires to the values of empathy, of family, and kindness that my grandmother instilled in us, growing up in a small, unassuming village in rural Limpopo. She showered us with that agape love. We grew up as a big family. I grew up with a lot of cousins, so my grandmother had a lot of grandchildren to take care of, but she always entertained my high energy and love for attention. Thanks, Gabrielle. She always entertained and indulged me with my high energy and love for attention. In fact, she would say, the amount of energy that I had, I would find her even saying, Tabang, watomato, which means Tabang, you are so talkative. But one area that all of that goes out the window is when I have to stand in front of an audience and talk. The voice trembles, the knees shake, the mouth goes dry, and the earth just refuses to open up for me to jump in. Guys, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm trembling right now. I am also a wife. I am a mother of 2 children who are 10 and 12 years in age. I try to shower them with the agape love that I inherited from my parents and grandparents. I'm an accountant by profession, and generally I'm somebody who loves to give back to the community. A big chunk of what I have to do in my professional role and in my volunteering work involves presenting facts and numbers to varying audiences, ranging from high school children who are aspiring to be chartered accountants, all the way to executive teams and boards of directors. And when I have to do this, I lose my happiness. I lose the meaning of my name. In fact, I think it's Oprah Winfrey who says in the many years that she's done her show, interviewing people, when she asks them what they want in life, they say they want to be happy. And she's realized that they actually want peace. And have you noticed that where there is peace, there's also love? But I find myself in this situation where I lack the peace, my happiness leaves, and I lose myself. The question is, what does one do to change their reality? I did a little bit of research and I found Toastmasters. It's precisely the place where I can come and learn the skills to change my reality. I did previously think that Toastmasters is for people who maybe want to be famous or be presenters or be MCs, just not for me. I hesitated for a long time, but eventually when I released myself from the comfort zone, I came to Toastmasters, and I must say, I have already received love. I have already received love from ToastEd, from my fellow club members, and I have a fond memory of the late Trevor in the very one and only meeting that he came to join us in July. He said to me he had a student in his teaching days called Tabang. And so even now I've got fond memory of somebody who's passed on, and they showed me love in the moment that they were here with us. And so I encourage you, Monica, to join this club because you will receive the agape love. Ultimately, names and their meanings are powerful. I have to find my happiness, my peace when I am presenting again. I'm sure my 85-year-old grandmother who's out in rural Limpopo would be so proud to see me taking this adventure to come and experience the true meaning of my name, even when I'm presenting. So I invite all of you to please join me and support me on this journey as I improve my confidence and learn the skills to speak confidently in public. Let's share the happiness, share the peace, share the love. Thank you.
Taban, agave streams out of you as well. It's wonderful. Thank you for that. For the third speaker, we have another icebreaker, and this will be today Andrea Baptista. She will be evaluated by Sean Stegman. And Sean, will you please come forward and tell us about the speech objectives? Please welcome Sean.
Yeah, so I've had a couple of conversations with Andrea over the last couple of days. And when your icebreaker is your first speech, and what I've learned about Toastmasters is it goes down to how you define what you are here to do. And as Toastmasters, we are here to improve, not to prove ourselves. So I'm looking for how Andrea does her first speech, and I'm looking for not all the technicalities, but presentation, how the speech flows, and just a bit of body language, and just getting to grips with the first speech.
Thank you, Sean. May I invite Andrea to come forward, and her speech is called A Moment of Courage. A Moment of Courage. Andrea, please, all the
Thank you so
best.
much, Gabrielle. In life, we often find ourselves at crossroads, not knowing which way to go forward. And all it takes is a moment of courage to push yourself forward in the right direction. So I'd like to express my gratitude to Gabrielle, Libby, and Sean for pushing me in the right direction, because I almost gave up on this tonight. My Toastmasters journey started because I wanted to be able to face the fears of public speaking. So I took to Google and I searched how to become a brilliant public speaker. It was serendipity that I came across Verity, a long-lost colleague of mine who used to work with me many, many years ago. And it was that fateful connection that brought me here tonight. My early life was marked by a couple of challenges. I went to an all-boys school. That year, in fact, it opened up for girls. There were 2 girls in my grade. But it was also a multiracial school in the era of apartheid. Really difficult circumstances to try and deal with all of that as a child. However, my parents wanted to instill the values of being independent, respected, and inclusive. And these qualities I've carried throughout my whole life. But you know, being in a boys' school also teaches you a hell of a lot of things. But one thing in particular that it taught me is just to thrive in a male-dominated world, especially in the 80s and the 90s. After school, I studied Bachelor of Science in Occupational Therapy at UCT. The day after I qualified, I got on a plane and left home because I really wanted to spread my wings and be independent. Now, I thought London was going to be a walk in the park. Little did I know that I was going to land up sleeping in the park, because after a month, I completely ran out of money. I was broke. I had no job, nobody that I knew in London, and I had that moment of courage to decide whether I was going to stay or whether I was going to go. I decided to stay, and the experience and the lessons that I learned through adversity and hardship of having no money, being on my own, is something that I carried for the rest of my life. Later on that year, I got a job as a therapist in a maximum security psychiatric prison. Another challenge. I worked there for quite some time, learned a lot of lessons. And you know what? Some of those stories are so funny, but I will tuck them away for another day. My career in London lasted about 8 years, from hospital to hospital, prison to prison, with many things in between. But I also did a lot of traveling and exploring the world. I was always an adventurous person, and I wanted to see more. But I got to a point where I was really, really lonely, because all these adventures I was doing mostly on my own, because I knew very few people in London. And I'm a little bit shy and not so confident to just approach a stranger on the street. So I decided to come home. I took another job at Falkenberg Psychiatric Hospital here in maximum security with 100 psychiatric male patients. That was probably the hardest job I have ever done. It was incredibly difficult patients, not well at all. The resources in South Africa, limited. Problem is, I had aspirations and big dreams, and the salary as a therapist here was just as limiting on my pocket. I needed more. And so, in a moment of courage, I decided to completely change careers. I recognized that Cape Town was an incredible hub for the film industry. So I decided, hey, why not? Let me apply at a model agency as a booker. I knew absolutely nothing about fashion, no knowledge about booking or even working in an office environment. But I think that perhaps my little British accent at the time sounded so posh, I think I got the job. I worked my way up, worked very hard, and treated the agency as if it was my own. But I got to a point where I wanted to spread my wings and find my entrepreneurial spirit and do it on my own. So, you know, they say running a business and owning one is not for the faint-hearted. And let me tell you, it really is not for the faint-hearted. I had to learn everything from scratch, learning how to craft a business plan, dealing with accounting, managing staff, hiring and firing, marketing, social media, all of that, while still making enough money to pay for all the staff that were there. But I can tell you that I'm proud today of what the agency has become, because with the team that I have, and many of them I've had since its inception, together we have formulated and become quite a respectable agency in Cape Town. But I don't see the agency today as just a business. I see it as a platform to inspire others to be courageous, to be brave, to find opportunities and to take the risks. Because it's when they take these opportunities that they grow and they reach their dreams and find inspiration. We teach them to change lessons into blessings. This is so important because if you're learning and growing, you can only move yourself forward. And it's absolutely rewarding to see when my young talent book those first jobs, buy the first car, put themselves through university, pay for their siblings through school, or financially help their parents. And I encourage all of you and all of us and everyone around to embrace your moment of courage, no matter how small they are, to make the commitment to stick to your goals, to follow your path, and to inspire people around you. So things like go join the gym, write your book, go for that walk, or stand up here and speak. Because it's these moments of courage that change your narrative and change your story, and really discover your true potential and make a huge impact on the world. Thank you.
Woman power. What a courageous and resilient woman is there. Andrea, we are very honored to have you in our group, in our family, and it will be a walk through the park. Toastmasters, after what we have heard from you, it can't be difficult for you. You are the leader already and the speaker. So thank you so much. Our next speaker will be introduced by Louise Robinson, and our next speaker will be Orlando. And Louise, please come forward and introduce him to us.
Good evening. Good evening. Toastmaster, hello Toasties, guests. I would like to introduce you to Landa. He is in Angola. He will be speaking tonight. It's his second speech, and he must write a speech with purpose. The topic is going to be Angolan woman. So that's we love that speech, right? We love that theme, the fight for survival. Okay, so we must bear in mind that English is the second language, and speech must be composed, it can be humorous, it must be informative, and any style of your choice. So good luck, and I'll see you at the end.
Thank you, Louise. Angolan woman, Elanda Diogo, Elanda Diogo, Angolan woman, all the best.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Hello, everybody. Today, I choose to share with you my thoughts about Angolan women. The focus will be on the way our society looks to them, how they manage their daily activities, and what they can expect from public policies. As in most of African countries that had a long period of colonialism, the majority of Angolan women in general were illiterate. This happened not only because of the colonialism, but also because in most national tribes or cultures, women used to have a secondary role in terms of community hierarchy, despite the important role they already have within the family. From my point of view, the problem of integration of Angolan women into society begins with the important role they play within the family. They were, from early ages, taught to carry out domestic activities and take care of their husbands and children without any concerns related to their education. Today, the paradigm is different, and women have not had the opportunity to adapt. In most cases, society still expects women to continue carrying out domestic activities and caring for their husbands and children, regardless of whether they already have jobs or any other type of important roles in society. On the other hand, most men still think that women have to be behind a stove or a washing machine, and above all, be ready to serve them unconditionally. It is very common in Angola to find women who lead the family, take care of their husbands, have full-time jobs, and have to take care of 5 or more children. In most cases, husbands are unemployed and demand food and sex almost daily under threat of domestic violence. Alternatively, they simply abandon their wife and children without any assistance and go in search of another relationship, which usually ends in the same way. It is also very common to hear reports from widows whose households were received by their husbands' families, as they understand that they have no rights to anything, as the goods belonged to their late husband and should be passed on to their close relatives. In addition, the woman is left in the open with her children, who are rarely under number 5. What the drama? Men charge forbid women from carrying out any family planning or using contraceptive on pain of considered a sin in the eyes of the church. This is a situation, in addition to contributing to the increase in poverty, places women in a situation of total fragility in the face of sustainability challenge. As a result, these scenarios. Data indicates that while men tend to commit more crimes against property, women tend to commit more crimes against people, most of which are committed against their peers. Regarding the social position of women, the pressure for the country to implement measures and policies with a view of achieving greater equality and equity between men and women stems in part imposed by the Millennium Development Goals, leading to an increase of the discourse surrounding the conditions, as well as some measures that will encourage greater participation in the life of the country. We highlight here the increase in their representation in political and decision-making positions. Angola currently has 9 women in government among 40 ministers, occupying ministerial positions, namely finance, public administration, fisheries, higher education, health, social action, environment, and youth and sports. The road is still long. However, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Madam Toastmasters, dear fellow Toasties and guests, this is the thought I wanted to share with you. Thank you for your attention.
I jokingly always say to Helanda, Mr. President, I think he got all the qualities to be a president one day. We can only hope that he gets there. Helanda, what an informative and really English, excellent you have given. So thank you very much. And it's only your 3rd talk, I think, and you're doing so well. Thank you so much for that. I would like to introduce you to our 5th evaluator, which is Justine Norman. She's going to evaluate Catherine Hansel. I please ask to welcome Justine.
Evening and good evening to Catherine, who I'm evaluating. Catherine and I have chatted this week, and she's always loving on the rolls. She loves doing rolls, but I know she feels quite anxious about speeches. However, this is your 3rd speech with us, and you are always so excited to share a speech, and I know I'm very excited to listen to your speech tonight. Catherine is doing her speech, which is an introduction to vocal variety and body language, and she's focusing on both, so vocal variety and body language, so I'll be looking out for that. And there were a few things that Catherine and I discussed where I'm looking out for the effective gestures that she's putting into her speech that will enhance the speech. And then because I've seen all her previous speeches, what she has improved from those speeches, and then the content of the speech. So Catherine, good luck. I know you've got this, and we'll see you on the other side.
And I hope you're all practicing Tonglen, breathing in our fear and releasing with love and confidence the breath out again. All the best to you, and Catherine is going to speak the peaks and troughs of life all hold essence. Catherine, all the best.
Toastmaster, our president, fellow ToastEds and guests, welcome. So the peaks and troughs of life all hold essence. There's a lovely quote, which I always love, that says, "From darkness come light." And I must start by saying, some may consider it very inappropriate, and I'm not referring in any way, shape or form to war or catastrophe or people, as my sister did, dying of cancer, none of that. So this speech is basically those day-to-day challenges that we all face and those peaks and troughs that we go through. It does not embrace those very sensitive issues that are more than that. So when I was 2 years old, I scooped up, I'm not joking, about 100 caterpillars and ate them. And I promptly was whisked off to hospital by a very anxious mother and father, and I survived. And they told me that was like the most joyful moment for them, knowing that their daughter actually survived eating 100 caterpillars, those ones that you can see on trees where there's like 200 of them or whatever. Anyway, and so I just think that's a typical example of where we can see the trough of what happened in life and then take it further to that, that peak moment our daughter actually survived. Yeah. Anyway, taking it a step further, I think any of you that know me know that at 53 years of age, I'm admitting my age, I'm absolutely besotted by horses still. And my dream as a little girl was to own a horse. It was my biggest dream, and it never quite happened. I think the closest I got, and I did everything to try and convince my parents to buy me a horse, but the closest I got was going to horse shows where my mother sat like this, these little Shetland ponies, throwing off these people onto the jumps and everything. I just thought, oh my gosh, I hope I don't see my daughter in this position. So that never happened. But my point here is that when I became a young adult, I actually had the beauty of, and that kind of peak moment of saving up and actually buying my own horse. And he was absolutely delightful. His name was Boyd and Wonder. He was a big bay horse, and he had a very beautiful nature. The only thing with Boyd and Wonder is when I took him to shows, he came from a trotting line. So instead of graciously, as we often watch on the television, these show jumpers going over all the jumps and cantering so beautifully, Boyd and Wonder just trotted faster and faster and faster. So we went to quite a few shows and we did quite well at the shows, but he never quite broke into cantering at that with that kind of ease that one expects a horse to, which I of course loved him and forgave him for. And then I think I might have mentioned this in my last speech, that at 8 years of age, I went to the bank manager and asked him if I could take out a loan to buy the famous racehorse Susan's Choice. And him and my father, I thought this was the joke of the year. And in fact, that horse went on to win absolute billions. So my family should have listened to me there. So there again is an example of those peaks and troughs that one has of not owning that horse, but then saving up and being able to buy your own. And another great moment for me, where there was definitely a sad moment, was, which again shows, you know, in animals we have those moments of peaks and troughs, was the racehorse Pocket Power. I decided I wanted to do a freelance article on Pocket Power. I think he was South Africa's hero, top racehorse, and I thought, let me capture the personality rather of Pocket Power rather than just the racehorse. Pocket Power, I went to visit, and on the first visit, I was so disappointed and I felt so heartbroken because he put his ears flat back, his feet were in bandages. They told me that he actually hates racing. And something very interesting I always remember about Pocket Power is apparently after a win, he'll put everything into it, but he will not go into the winning stall. So he'll come out, he'll win, and they try and take him into that winning stall and he won't, and they just respect that. And I decided, no, I'm going to love this horse to bits and I'm not going to write any article promoting Pocket Power because the horse doesn't like racing. And for me, there was a great learning in that, because it just shows that sometimes how damaging perfectionism can be when we expect so much of ourselves. And it was a lesson for me to pursue happiness rather than perfectionism. And in the same token, it's a great reminder of my sister who died of cancer just over a year ago with a brain tumor, which came back. And I think not many people survive a brain tumor, and just embracing that happiness in life and making the absolute most of every second of your life to the end. It was such a beautiful lesson for me to not sweat the small stuff and to focus on the good stuff that life holds. So yes, and then those peaks and troughs in Zimbabwe. Anyone that's from Zimbabwe, I think Sally, you might be, I can't remember, somebody here might be, but in Zimbabwe normally we do, it takes 9 tries to get your driver's license. It's kind of standard, and as you prepare to bribe the drive instructor, which I can proudly say I never did. So those 8 or 9 times I tried to get my driver's license, and then finally getting it, and just receiving that beautiful Morris Minor, which my father bought me, printed bright pink with a bright pink bow to go with it. Again, those trucks, the difficulties of the driving lessons, the fails, and of course the beauty of actually getting a car in the end. And I think just looking at my corporate career, one of the astounding and funniest moments I've had is when I landed an interview with Suzanne Ackerman. And I think everyone knows the Ackerman's campaign group. And I landed that interview on my own. I was so nervous for it. My heart was practically out here. And she's a tiny little lady, very dynamic. And I had actually read up about her before I went for the interview. And everything was very emotive. And her PR company had promoted her. And she wears her heart on her sleeve and very emotive and very full of love. So that is how I went in, emotive and gushy and quite over the top. And she was completely the opposite. And she told me within 5 minutes, you're not corporate. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. In fact, I thank Suzanne for that, because she's absolutely right. And although I went on to have a lot of corporate success, running workshops for the Sandak Learn Group, which I created myself, and going into property, I think she's right, because I think ultimately try and challenge every system in corporate for the underdog, which wouldn't go down too well. And so it's also a reminder of my property journey working for a corporate when I went into property, and an agent friend and I both resigned. And it was so funny because I went into a very corporate environment for another property company, and within the first month, with her seller and my buyer, we clinched a deal. So we both left this world of corporate, and we both clinched this fantastic property deal in our first month. So it was a message to me that I can still lead without necessarily being in a corporate background, in a corporate environment, but I can serve corporates from the outside. Yes. So in conclusion, I would just like to say that, and my father always said something very beautiful, and seeing as this is the topic of love today, is that the very things in life that often drive us nuts about people, I'm sure the things that drive our ex-president and our president today about me, my father taught me the very things that drive us nuts about people are often the very things that are good about them. So let's not try and change people too much, because in every person, the thing that probably drives you nuts is probably on the other side of the coin, the very thing that you love about them, or is their strength. And so in conclusion, what I can say is, yeah, the peaks and troughs of life, and from darkness cometh light. Thank you.
Catherine, what a lively and exciting life you're living. And for sure, it is lived with agape. Lots of love. May I ask our timekeeper, Willem, to come and give us the speech time? I mean, the timekeeper, the speech time.
First we got John. John, you came in at the flick of the green to the yellow at 6 minutes. Then we got Taban, you got 6 minutes and 9 seconds. And we got Andrea, you got 6 minutes 45 seconds. Orlando, you got 6 minutes 48. And Catherine, at the flick, you made it at 9 minutes.
Thank you. I definitely have not done my job right. Who knows me knows that this is one of my characteristics, to keep time. This time I had to, we started late as well, no? We have to admit. So now we would be already now in the second round. Is it okay with you if we give 15 minutes time? That means we meet at 26.
Are you doing 15 minutes or 20 minutes?
I would like to be generous. It's just that if you all agree that we go over time, then we can do that. Otherwise, I would be very strict and say we have to put our time in again. But 20 minutes would be nice. So we are back at 7:45. Is that fine? Good. And please enjoy the food, the drinks, and mingle happily, and always have agape right out of your mouth and into your hands and from the heart, and be yourself and love.
Oh, sorry.
Take this. Thank you, John. Okay, Libby, would you be so kind and do your evaluation for Tabang, who did her icebreaker? Please welcome Libby for her evaluation of Tabang.
I don't know if Libby's there. Oh, she's there.
It's show Tabang.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody, and especially good evening to Bang. What a privilege it is for me to evaluate your icebreaker speech this evening, Tabang. Your speech, Jabulani, was filled with agape love. I just loved your beautiful open, your closing, and how you took us on a rich and colorful journey from your childhood to the boardroom. Your relationship with your beloved grandma, all the way to your relationship with your colleagues. Everything was vivid and very relatable. Underpinned by Jabulani, this wonderful Zulu word, be happy, you took us on a journey of hope and love and peace, and especially empathy. Your speech, Tabang, in my opinion, was strong in many areas. Your vocal variety was excellent. I loved the way you had a good variety of volume and pitch, pace. Tabang, you have a beautiful tone to your voice. It is warm and relaxed and calming. I love the use of imagery, especially the way you described your grandma. We could all see her and hear her. If I have to offer a suggestion, it is only your icebreaker. But if I have to offer you one suggestion or evaluator going forward, I noticed that you engaged the audience and you had good eye contact, but maybe you could use your body language a little more to enhance your beautiful use of language and imagery. So, for example, you described yourself as a child of high energy. Maybe I was a child of high energy, just to bring your passion through even more. And a second suggestion, Tabang, tonight is agape love tonight. Give that love to yourself. You have agape love in bucket loads. Trust yourself going forward. Leave your notes and just speak with your beautiful true essence. In summary, thank you for this wonderful icebreaker. You excelled in your opening and your closing. Your imagery and vocal variety were excellent. And I look forward to your body language coming into future wonderful speeches. Tabang, you said that you thought Toastmasters was for famous people. Well, it is. Look around you, and you are one of them. Tabang, I look forward to hearing many more of your speeches, and especially how Toastmasters, and especially ToastEd, is going to help you in your professional career. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Libby, for such a loving and warm and positive evaluation you have done. And it's good that the two of you work together. Next,
apologies, I didn't realize my camera was off the whole time.
Got your beautiful picture there. Okay, hello, hello. May I ask our third evaluator, which is Sean Stegman, to come forward and give his evaluation about Andrea and her icebreaker.
Thank you.
How's that possible?
Sorry, it's me. Oh, sorry, it's still me.
I'll wait, I'll wait, I'll wait. Good. Firstly, I thought your speech was fantastic. Really, it was a good speech. You have good points. When you come on a stage, you command a stage. That's really good. That's special. When you said that you were learning to thrive in a male-dominated world, I can see that leadership quality in you, and I see it comes out. So that's a good quality that you got. And when you said you were sleeping on a park bench, like that's about learning diversity and hardship, and like that's like a test of character. That's real deep stuff that you had to do there. And then you went on to run your own business. I can see how that whole thing is mapped. Is your hardships and diversity have taught you to actually be able to run your own business, and you run it with an ethics that I was picking up. There's a narrative of ethics, how you look after the people that have worked with you for a long time. That's special. I come from business, so that's special. Good use of your hands. I like that, the use of your hands. You have a gentle voice. That's soothing. It comes across as like so like smooth. It's like a good whiskey. And you have great command of the English language. I didn't hear ums and ahs. It just flows. Your voice just flows naturally, and that's great for public speaking. I picked up humility and courage. That's what I picked up in you. There's humility about you. There's not a boastfulness. It's like you're calm in courage, and then good vocal variety. So the only thing I would, if I was to ask you to do a few things, one would be to use movement across the floor. So like when you were sleeping on a park bench, you could have done that, just to kind of like emphasize. And then just moving actually makes you calmer. If you're standing still, you're kind of wondering what you've got to do with the other parts of your body. When you move, then suddenly a natural thing flows. So that will just help you ease in. And then just when you came on first, you spoke very softly at first. So you need to just open it up with that louder speaking, because it flowed better as you went on. And then I said to you earlier is that you didn't need the cards. You could have dropped the cards. And you were more fluid once I saw you not using the cards, because then you weren't trying to go, oh, what's the next thing? So it just flowed better once you stopped using the cards. Otherwise, great speech. Well done.
And great evaluation, so supportive. Absolutely lovely. Thank you, Sean. May we ask our next evaluator, it's Louise. She will evaluate Orlando. Please welcome Louise.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Yes. Wanda, that was fabulous. For someone who can't speak English, you had us all drawn in. So the topic was inspiring and very close to our hearts, even though it was very, very serious. So we all felt the pain, we felt for the women, and we can relate because in South Africa we also have those kind of problems. So we feel for them. You articulate, your words are brilliant. We didn't have to think what you were trying to say. I think you said everything perfectly. You dress for success. We love your smile. Yeah, very heart-wrenching. There we go. So it was very, yeah, it was very informative, and you drew us in. A couple of suggestions. Pause a bit. I mean, I also talk very fast, so you know, we must take a breath. We have to take the message in and understand what you're saying and empathize with you. So slow down. And the other thing is sometimes raise your voice a bit and come down a bit, that type of thing. So in summary, you were fantastic. We loved it.
Thank you,
But
Liz. Thank you.
I think you need to summarize at the end and bring the story back together. Okay, from the beginning, we were talking about the women, in the end, you didn't bring it back in how, you know, we can help them or what the story is really about. So you need to bring that back together. I understand that you're online, but maybe you need to move around a little bit. Sometimes this is not a humorous story, so you can't put humor into this, but maybe a bit more body language, interact or slow down, as I said, so the people can take it in, maybe interact a little bit more with you. Okay, so on the whole, I think it was fabulous, and we love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Liz.
Alanda, we love you, that's true. And I think the women all need a little bit more agape after we heard that talk. So may I ask for our fifth evaluator, Justine, to come forward and evaluate Catherine.
Hello, Catherine. I feel like you took me back to, I'm not even going to say how many years ago because I don't want to do the maths and I'm not going to give my age away, where you spoke about pocket power, because I remember pocket power when I was like this young little girl who used to go to Durban in July and all those horse races thinking I was so fancy. So I was like, oh yes, I remember pocket power. Enough about me though. You created such a lovely image. I could picture you when you were talking about your two-year-old self crunching on those caterpillars. I could see it and I could imagine the mess and I could imagine your parents' relief when they realized that you were going to be fine, because that's probably quite stressful. You used really nice use of the space. So you moved around really well, but you didn't just do like this. You actually, you know, paused and then you moved over here and you paused. So that was great. I can see your bravery from even when you were your 8-year-old self, and I can see your bravery within you today, where you wanted to buy that horse that it wasn't pocket power, but it was a different one. And I can see that in you today. So thank you for sharing that with us. I feel like that was very valuable. And a wonderful lesson to learn to just for happiness. I can't remember what you said, but it was instead of focusing on that, let's focus on happiness. Yes, exactly. So don't look for, and I can relate to that massively because there is that need to be perfect all the time, but let's focus on the happiness instead. You used really wonderful eye contact with everybody. I could see that you were speaking to everyone in the room, which is so important. And it felt very conversational. You were comfortable, you were standing here and you just had a conversation with the audience, which was lovely to see. And because you felt so comfortable, in turn it made us feel so comfortable. So thank you. Some suggestions. I would look at maybe slowing down a little bit. I sometimes felt like you were rushing through it a bit, and to pause so that we can take it all in, we can absorb what you're saying, and then we move on. And it's a nice time for you to also just take a breath. And then I would also suggest focusing on, I'm not sure how many points you did have in your speech, but focusing on 3 to 5, no more than that. And then just sort of figuring out how you can start strong. Don't start with a good evening, everybody. This is my speech. Start strong, grab us straight away. and then you can have a really great body, and then in your conclusion, to have a powerful conclusion and to tie it back to your introduction so that it all is a full circle because it's circular communication. And then, yeah, I felt like I learned so much from you tonight, things I didn't know about you, which I really enjoyed, so thank you. And I loved hearing your story and just learning more about you. And then I think just to come to a close, it's about tying it all together to making sure that you've got that strong introduction in your body and a powerful conclusion to tie it all together. But Catherine, I thank you for sharing this insight into your life. I really enjoyed hearing more about you and learning about eating caterpillars and whatever it might be in your horse passion, because I don't think I knew about that. And I look forward to hearing more speeches from you and to see you and to see you grow and blossom into the speaker that you are. So thank you.
We have such classy speeches and such classy evaluators. Really, the standard, as we have heard from our guests, is very high. So you're doing well, my friends. I would like to ask Willem to give the speech times of the evaluators. And then I would like to bring in something which I have not done in the first part, and that is to vote for the best speech and then to vote for the best evaluator. We can do that then one after the other. Okay. So please, Willem, will you please be so nice and come forward and tell us about the times of the evaluators?
So the first evaluator was Verity, and she was on 3 minutes 18. Had a little bit of technical issues there. Then second evaluator was Libby. You came in at 3 minutes 34. Sean, you came in the green light at 2 minutes 45. And Louise, you came in just when the green light came on at 2 minutes 4 seconds. And Christine, you came in at 3 minutes 32. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Willem. And may I ask you now, and Justine as well, to vote for the best speaker. If you take your camera. Okay. And have we got the names there again, or shall I say all the names again?
Comes up, no?
It comes up. Ah, good. Okay. So
that's going to be different, yeah. That's basically that. Gabrielle, we can do evaluator later after tabletop.
Okay,
one
good. Okay, okay. And thank you, Sean. Have you all done it?
No, my phone hasn't been turned on yet.
Oh, okay. We can wait. This is the evening of generosity with time.
Because we normally just have
Or you like to do it all you say old fashioned, you need a little bit old fashioned.
Until we all have done that, I give you a little quote. Fall in love with yourself.
Can you still looking?
Falling in love with yourself is not vanity, but the gift of life. And with yourself is not meant as the person, but that what you sink into when you fall into the being. And when I spoke about sinking down into yourself, I forgot to say how you do it. You meditate or you pray. So this is the way inside, while longing for love is the way outside, and being disappointed most of the time. Okay, are we done with all the
Yes, I managed it eventually with a bit
Good,
of help.
wonderful. So now we come to the fun part of the evening.
Just wait, are we not getting?
We do it at the end.
No, we'll do it afterwards with table topics because that's all one form. Thank you.
We are coming to a part of the evening we all love, and this is table topics. And we are very honored to have Meena in India, in Mumbai. They've taken on this role. And Meena is a very, sagt man treu? What is treu?
Loyal.
Loyal. A very loyal friend and member of this club, and always stands at our side with good ideas as well, and being part of our membership. Meena, I would like to hand over to you. And I don't know whether online people have already agreed to come to you, but I'm sure we have people in the room. Justine?
Melissa is going to do a table topic, but perhaps you could just help Meena facilitate people in the room.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, we have one lady in the room. That's our guest, the president from England, Melissa. She agreed to do table topics, and we are helping you, Meena, to connect with between the online and the people in the room to help you or to be part of table topics.
Julia wants to go.
Julia will go as well. So here's number
And I think
2.
Martin wanted to go. Martin wants to go.
Martin. Oh, fantastic. So nice. It's so nice when our guests agree to take part in table topics. And have we got online as well?
In online, we have all the role takers, so we do not have non-role takers online.
Okay. Good. I hand over to you, Meena.
Thank you so much, Gabriel. And I must say, I could hear Justin whispering, I could just hear that. Thank you so much. So for the benefit of guests, Table Topics is a fun session where you just get to think and share your opinion, your thoughts while you hear a topic. Let me assure you, there is nothing right or wrong. It's entirely your opinion. Take that courage, come forward and express yourself. Be aware of the time. Try stretching yourself for 1 minute. You can see the green card shown by the timer. And go ahead if you have some more thoughts. You can see the yellow card at 1.5 minutes. And if you can still go ahead, that's amazing. You can see the red at 2 minutes. And you can take 30 more seconds of buffer time to wind down the topic with a moral if you can add. And do not forget to try to use the word of the day, that is agape love. So with that, I have our first volunteer, Melissa, president in a club at London. Can I have you? Yes, she is there.
Yeah, that's fine. And
hi,
and
Melissa.
Just to get the is the cup is the head in as well?
Yeah, you can move back.
We can see you.
There.
Because I cannot see.
Perfect.
Can you see all of me?
Yes. Hello, Melissa.
Hello.
Do you paint?
No.
Okay, imagine you are a painter, you're picking up a new hobby, and the topic is, if love is a canvas, which colors would you choose and what would you paint? If love is a canvas, which colors would you choose and what would you paint?
Right. This is an interesting one. If love was a canvas. Well, that should be fairly easy because I only have one color that I like, which is red. So it would have to be red. As to what I would paint, well, I think because it's love, it would have to be a heart. To start with, so it would have to be a heart. And also because I love my husband very much, I would have to have maybe somewhere where we went for our honeymoon associated with that, a picture of that place, which was in England. And we got the clock there. We had a wonderful honeymoon there. And that was many decades ago. So I would paint my red heart and the picture of this little resort on the coast of England where I had to go at the time because otherwise I would have been thrown out of England because I would have been an illegal immigrant or whatever. But that's another story. So this is good. It would have to be read, and also because it'll be read and painted. The thing itself would probably maybe have a few shades in blue just to make it a little bit different. But I think it's important in terms of color to choose a color that you love, and also the color that symbolizes love, which is why I would choose this. And I'm sure my husband would approve of this as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Malitza. I love the concept of painting with red, and I would also like to paint yellow and show some friendship and love on behalf of ToastEd as you traveled that far and joined us this evening. And next we have, I heard Julia. Is it Julia or is it Julia? How do you pronounce it? Oh, yes, it's Julia. I've got that right. Oh, I thought that kiss is just for me, but you made us an agape love spreading for
sharing
everyone.
is caring, Nina. Sharing is caring, you know this.
Okay, I go with that. I go with that. So, Yulia, the topic for you is, do you have a pet?
Your pet? Do
You have a pet?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Is this a question for tonight?
No, not yet. I haven't shared the question, but do you have a pet?
Pet.
A pet.
A pet. It comes and goes, and I wish it would be mine, but it isn't.
Okay. Since you have already experienced the love of pet, how would you describe their love language?
Oh, wow.
How would you describe the love language of the pet?
How would I describe the love language of a pet? Disappearing pet. I think there's not much to say about the love language of the pet. Because it's a feeling. It's not a language, how they communicate with us. Have you have a pet at home? You got a pet at home? I'm asking
Yes.
Grace. Oh, okay, thank you. So I received a cat. I have to make the story very short because I only got 2 minutes, right, William? Okay, 1 minute. Because I was thinking too much before I was speaking, because someone told me I should think before I speak. But with 2 minutes, it's very difficult. Coming back to the language, Mina, thank you. This cat was my sister's cat, and she only spoke to me in the way of standing at a door and telling me she wants to go out, she wants to go in, and then she wants to have food in her little bowl. She didn't look at me, she didn't come to me, I was not allowed to touch her, absolutely nothing. Have any one of you experienced this with cats? Okay. So my sister left to Europe, and the cat became the cat of my son, Max. Max graduated school and left to Europe. So the cat needed a new friend. And all of a sudden I was good enough. I never wanted to have a cat. Regardless that they have hairs, that they smell, or I was thinking they smell. So I decided that I don't want to have a cat ever. But all of a sudden I had this cat. And she came and all of a sudden started communicating with me. And not in a way of language, but in a way of just coming, touching me. And whenever I felt sad or happy, I could be sure she was around. She didn't come to me for food anymore, not to open the door, but just to acknowledge that I was there for her
and she chose me. So the language of a pet is, I'm still not sure what it is. But there's one word what definitely is included in the language of a pet. And this is.
Your question, Mina.
Very nice question, thank you.
Thank you, Julia. I really love the emotions that you brought in. The language of pet is a feeling. It's not a vocal or a verbal word, but it comes to you when you really feel low or high. And that was something very touching for me. Thanks, Julia, for sharing that story. And may I know who's coming up next?
Martin.
Is it Gary?
Martin.
Martin. Okay. Hi, Martin.
Hey, Mina.
Okay. So I would request you to pick one object from that room. Any one object. Just pick an
From this
object.
room.
Yeah, any one object, and then I will give the topic to you.
Okay.
Choose bubbles.
A glass.
Flowers. Say.
I will take the phone.
Phone.
Okay. The topic for you is, if this phone is going to be your Valentine, how would you propose or shower your love? If this phone is going to be your Valentine, how would you propose or shower your love?
Okay. This phone is my Valentine and I have to propose to her. So, first of all, when I see this phone, there are two dogs. They're quite cute, you can see them. And yeah, it reminds me of my old dog, Jimmy, which is not girl at all. Quite difficult. But in general, I really like dogs. I like dogs. I like to hug them, and so with this, I will call this cell phone Miriana. So I don't know why, but the name came out of me, and Mirena. My beautiful darling. When I saw you the first time, you were so beautiful and your eyes were shining. And when we were on our first honeymoon in Bali. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I fall in love with you, and I wanna say thank you for everything, and I wanna marry you. Mariana, please take my heart.
Love is truly in the air, and I would really like to know, did Mariana say yes? It was amazing. Love is in the air.
I love you.
Well done, Martin.
Thank you, Martin.
This goes into history.
Excellent.
Whenever you propose to someone in your life, this will get
we can now.
Yeah, okay.
One more, isn't it?
Was there one more?
I don't know. Yes, Emilia wanted to do one more, right?
Emilia, okay.
Can we do one more?
As we are over time already, we might as well let go, you know? And love doesn't know time. Love is eternal, so why would we all of a sudden stick to time? And please don't record me. Emilia, what?
Hi, Emilia.
Hi, Mina. I hope you love me so much.
I love you very much. You have picked up the courage and come forward. As much as I love you, I have a question for you. Do you do solo trips? Solo travel?
Yes, I've done so, and I have been hoping to do a lot of the solo trips.
Oh, that's lovely. So the topic for you is, why you go on a solo date, not a solo trip, a solo date, how would you pamper yourself? When you go on a solo date, how would you pamper yourself?
Wow. No one would ever imagine going on a solo date. When you think of a date, it's definitely 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, or actually a group of people that are going on a date. One person, only one person going on a date. Well, my mind is boggling me, thinking, how can someone actually go on a solo date? How do you expect to go on a solo date and enjoy that kind of love that you get to experience? But well, I've got just one thing to tell you: loving yourself. Just the inner love that you give to yourself so that you can express that love to so many people. There are so many different kinds of love that you can experience. Agape love, the word that you've just discovered today, the kind of love that you receive from many people, and the kind of love that you've just experienced today from Martin, who expressed his love to his beautiful form, Maria. That's the other kind of love. But this kind of love that I'm actually talking about when I want to go on a date is love for myself. And what would I want to do? Looking at the things that I want, wondering what exactly do I want to do for myself. Well, one thing I love for sure is I love to be just myself and to pamper myself. Get a beautiful spa treatment where I get to relax my muscles. Just the love that I'm giving to my own body. Imagine no one ever has that kind of love that you give to yourself. That's one thing I wanted to do. Go on a spa date. Mina, I hope one day you'll actually be on a date with me.
Thank you, Amelia. Thank you so much. I love the concept of spa date. So to wrap up, each of us have that liberty to love ourselves. And as Amelia told, love yourself more so that you can spread more and more of love to others, be it the objects, be it the people around. Go ahead and cherish that love and paint that love in the canvas of your life. So with that, back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day, Gabriel.
You know, did you hear Sean? He said, well done, Mena. And we all think, well done, Mena, for a wonderful table topic. It was amazing what came out. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
May I please call now for the table topics time, which will be done by Willem again. Welcome.
A
little bit back, so we have.
Towards it.
First table topic was 1 minute 39. Our second table topic, Julia, was 2 minutes 46. And Martin, you came in at 1 minute 32. Quite good for a marriage proposal. And then our fourth table topic came in exactly at 2 minutes.
Great, thank you. So now we come to our other voting possibility for best evaluator and best table topics. Please keep your cameras close by. And here we go. we all done? Okay. See all these love letters flying through the room. Wonderful. Justine, you can take it off. And I would like to ask now Yoni to be our O and counter. Please come forward and give us your report.
So, Gabrielle, I counted 2 R's, 7 ums, and 4 R's. For Willem, I counted 3 ums and 3 R's. For John, only 1 word repeat. For Libby, 2 ums. For Bang, 3 ums. For Sean, 8 ums and 3 repeats. For Andrea, 1 1 and 1 repeat. For Louise, 1 1 and 4 repeats. And then for Hollandia, 3 repeats. And then Catherine, 21 ums. 3 O's and 1 repeat. I'm not going to manage to pronounce your name. How do you say it? I'm sorry.
Well, if you can't, you're not allowed to tell me.
Just 1 Julia, just 1 Martin, 2 ums, 1 and you can't propose to my phone. And Amila, 2 O's and 1
Martin, a while ago, we had a table topics and Yoni was the aspiring bride. And she had to choose from 3 bachelors, 1 who would make the race to your heart, and they had to entice her with exciting trips and professions, etc. It was a very difficult choice you made, and now with your now we don't count anymore. And having your phone there and having Martin to make a proposal, it's you again. You have to be very, very choosy because there are already 4 making proposals. So look for the right one. May we have Chantel coming and give us the grammarian report.
Okay, so many outstanding phrases. John failed an exam for puppy love, must go down in history, I'd say. And she uses her beauty. That was really amazing. Oh, well done to the people using the word of the day.
Yeah.
Last time, I think there was 1. Guys, you did amazingly. So we need to say John, Libby, Tabang, Gabrielle, used it many times. And Mina, thank you so much for using my word of the day. Tabang, the earth refuses to open up. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Released myself from, interesting enough, this is your excellent phrase, but also I'm going to give a little bit of a crit because I have to give some people crit. So you release myself from the comfort zone, release myself from a comfort zone or my comfort zone. Andrea, a moment of courage, faithful connection. I can't read my handwriting. Tuck stories away. Yolanda, where are you? Wow, you used a lot of complicated phrasing, actually. Secondary role in community hierarchy. Women have to be, I love, women have to be behind the stove and the washing machine. I thought it was really classic. Place woman in a place of fragility. And this is one of my husband's favorite phrases that I didn't understand when I met him. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Is one of his favorite phrases. So that's quite interesting that you used it. Catherine, from darkness comes light, and how damaging perfectionism can be. Okay, Justine, I have to have a bit of correction, loving on the roll. But a lot of people are using loving on. They say loving on people, and I don't know if it's incorrect English anymore, or that's like how people use, we love on people, but anyway. Sean, Your voice is like a good whiskey. Gee, that goes down really well. Gabrielle, the way you describe loving for love is outside. It's really beautiful. And Julia, I love the phrase, all of a sudden I was good enough. I just liked it the way you put it. And Martin, you had me at Marianne. And that's my career. Thank you very much.
And Catherine, may we ask you for the delightful Fine Master report? Please come forward.
Here's our class. Yeah, I will be very modest this evening. I find myself with our Oshun from last week from the online meeting. Was it last week or the week before? Yes, we're saying that I do admitted to doing my speeches at the last minute, and you're right, I do. So there we go. There's a fine that I owe. But also for pinching a glass of somebody's champagne today, when Justine specifically said on the agenda, bring your own. So I feel a bit in Judaism we say a bit of a schnorrer for doing that. Sorry, whoever's champagne it was. I'm finding myself for it. Halanda, oh my word. For leaving his superb speech right to the last minute, worse than me, where we went over it at 1 o'clock today, and then for blowing me away with how good it was. So Halanda, you owe us something for the Fine Masters. Hey? Verity and Justine for promoting
Thank you.
Yeah, really good speech after all that. Verity and Justine for promoting the masterclass only 1 day before, when I would have loved to have attended it. Please, 3 days before notice next time. Okay. Andrea for doing the toasted marriage vows with I do so graciously and with ease. Ching ching, I owe. Okay, you owe. Let's have a look here. Gabrielle for wearing the brightest ski pants in the room.
Ski pants.
Great, yes. And for forgetting the loyal toast.
No, it's not on me.
It's
It's
me.
Justine. She
Oh,
did the
okay.
loyal toast.
Yeah, did you? I don't
Yeah,
know.
so you have forgotten.
You
That's another
must Okay, Chantal. Okay, I don't know if you know the Chantal, but for not mentioning that, and the gay love also means, unlike my parents, who had a total eros, passion, drama kind of love. Is when someone goes on one, and it's a kind of slow, practical, logical kind of love, as opposed to the eros one. So you call me on that. I know because I read about it recently. Okay, great. Where we at? 2, 3. John, for reminding us of that lovely love word snuggle, such a cute word, John.
$10.
EFT, John.
Shelley, my friend Shelley, for allowing me to drag her all over Cape Town. Because I love my friends to have the same experiences that are really special. So if I chase her to the lovely toasted club, she's followed me all over. So thank you, Shelley. I really miss you to go back to that. And Babang, and John, and Halanda, and Andrea, wow, for truly setting the bar so high with your speeches. Wow, wow, wow. It was a hard act to follow. So all of you really are.
Yeah.
And is there anything more there? Yeah.
Can you make something up? I actually got 2 contests.
For finding
It's paid
herself.
for me. I left my.
And by the way, for not showing us any signs of trembling or nerves or all these things that you spoke about. I didn't see any of that coming through at all. Andrea again for her bravery of being a DJ, riding motorbikes, and also for working in the psychiatric ward of prisoners. 10 out of 10. Bravery. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Put the money in for you because it's like you were called up about 20 times tonight.
And for everyone else here.
Thanks.
Thank you, Catherine. It's always a very delightful part of the evening, and it brings really cash into our box, and we can buy, we can buy more wine and champagne. Thank you so much. And,
exactly.
and my last minute is come. I will not take my 5 minutes which were allocated because I've used them somewhere else. So let me close with a book or some saying of somebody I really like. It's Khalil Gibran. The book is called The Prophet. And here he's asked about many things in life, what he thinks, not he, but he has got this character Anitra, and this Anitra answers questions which the population of the village asks him about very important things in life. And there are 2 pages or 3 pages about love, but I only would like to read the end or part of it to you. Love gives naught by itself and takes naught from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I'm in the heart of God. And think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. And I would like to say at the end, love, only loving. Be only. I wish you a wonderful week until we shall see each other again. And I would like to hand over to our charming president, Justine, to speak the end of the evening with awards, thanks, and guest comments. Please welcome back again onto the stage, Justine.
Did you all pass your notes around? Because I know I didn't, so I'm
No.
doing it quickly. I didn't give to everybody yet, sorry. Okay, so that was another encouragement. So please pass notes around. Gabrielle, gosh. Oh, not yet. Okay, but you can keep it there.
Okay.
Just don't click anything.
I'll share it now and then we'll do just.
Gabrielle, you know exactly how to make us all feel in love with your words. You are so special and you speak from your heart every single time. So thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And my favorite thing is everything that you said, but my most favorite thing are your hearts that you brought tonight. These were amazing. So
What?
your heart.
Yeah, the heart.
Your little emoji heart.
I thought in my speech I could then go like,
Oh.
or something like that.
Can you show everyone online?
It somehow didn't feel right.
Show everyone online what you wanted to do. So special.
This is the heart I brought, and I thought I could show you how it comes, how it beats for all of you, for you online, and for you in the room. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, everyone. Bring those along each time.
Okay.
I love them. So thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you to all of our speakers. You guys should be so proud of yourselves. I've just got a little small evaluations, but not really, for each of you. Tabang, your start was amazing. Wow. Like getting into dance, that caught us straight away. Oh, I love it. And you're such a natural. So we will 100% keep supporting you because you just spoke with ease. It was lovely. Well done. You must be proud. Andrea, your icebreaker. Well done for not giving up for tonight. Well done. Because it was it was fabulous. And you're so courageous. And you've definitely must have learned so many lessons in those, what did you call them, maximum prisons? And I want to hear all the funny stories, so please let's hear those as we unpack you a little bit more. And then Yolanda, your second speech, congratulations. You are 100% dressed for success.
Thank you. Thank you, Justine.
And I love that saying so much, dress for success, because it's the song by Roxette. And I'm like, #1 fan. And then Catherine, as I said, thank you for sharing your story. I'll share your evaluation with you, but thank you for sharing and for connecting with all of us when you speak. John, I always look so forward to your speeches. It is so hilarious. I think you are just amazing. So thank you so much and for always making us laugh. I look forward to your next speech.
Thank you, Justine.
And then we have 2 role players tonight, I think, who are our first time role players. So Joni, who did the R counter, well done. It's your first time doing timekeeper.
Yeah.
Yay! Congratulations for, sorry? For this and for
A little one-eyed
and for making sure, like making use of that. You'll have to give everyone lessons, please, because I feel like that confused me. Okay. And then Mina, your table topics were amazing. Yeah, they were so great.
Thank you.
Mina, I think every time you speak, you just warm my heart because you really just speak from the heart, and I could hear it through your table topics. So thank you so much. Well done to all our speakers. Okay, now it's awards time.
I want to do.
Oh, I'm just doing my papers.
You want to do it?
I can help you.
Yeah, so you're going to she's
Just like Gabrielle gives hearts too.
Okay, so now. Now what do I do?
Nothing right this moment.
It's on the screen. Gabrielle's got her hearts there.
Just have to make it hearts.
Yeah, I think
So when I say just do it
one arrow.
step by step.
Only do it. Okay. So it's awards time. Just click it once, it's a bit slow.
Thank you.
Congratulations, John.
Well done, John.
Well done, John.
Well done, John. John,
We love you.
We love you, and I feel that you need to please come and visit us in Cape Town so we can give you your best speaker little ribbon and certificate.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next is best evaluator. Yeah, that's so embarrassing. Next, okay, then, so thank you for voting for me. Next, best table topics. And then we have to have a photo op. I mustn't hold this thing. Congratulations!
Didn't expect that too much.
Let's have a quick photo shoot.
Yep, sure.
When you're ready. Thanks, Sally. Well done, Martin.
Next slide, we ask you to do that to each of those women here.
Sure.
We're done now. Thank you.
Cool, that was a big job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to my personal assistant. I would like to just take just a few seconds, and I know there are a few guests that don't want to speak tonight, and that's fine because I was the same. I just want to hear your one takeaway or what your feeling is leaving tonight. So I'll start where I began with Gary. But you are part of us now, but let's just hear from you anyway.
Thank you for having me. I think what I realized this evening, more so than anything else, even though I work in hospitality and working with people kind of comes naturally. When I need to be in kind of this group environment, it's out of my comfort zone. So it's not me talking shop. It's not me talking hospitality. It's totally different, and I'm shy. I don't know. I may not come across as it, but I really am. And I think I'm going to have to put in a lot of work and a lot of effort to overcome those kind of fears and boundaries that I have for myself. And just there picking up all the ums that has come out in just that, because I'm nervous and I don't know what to say, but yes, there's work to be done, and it's not normal for me. So yeah, thank you though for the experience.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it was Nick, and he was a vice president of education quite a few years ago. And I remember he used to say, if there's something that you really want to say no to, and that's fearful to you, you say yes. So it's the same with Toastmasters. I wasn't sure what I was signing up for, but I said yes, and here I am. So just focus on those yeses and facing your fears. But thank you. Your one takeaway, how are you feeling after tonight?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I really feel the love and the warmth in the room, and I think the safe space that you create is wonderful. I think when we talk from the heart and it's heartfelt, I think we give our best selves. And I just want to applaud everyone here for creating that. Even as a sort of a newcomer, a one-off taste of Toastmasters, I really feel that wonderful energy. So it was really special to be here tonight.
Thank you. You're speaking beautifully. And then Melissa, what is your takeaway tonight? What is your feeling?
Thank you very much for welcoming me so warmly. And yeah, no, I was very impressed with everything. Thank you. Your welcome pack was excellent before the meeting. I really liked that. And yeah, the food was excellent.
Thanks, Gabby.
It's my cakes. Some people's cakes anyway. I really like the fact your meeting had a theme. That was good. And also, I thought it was really good the way you did your new member induction. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that. It makes me think I dropped the ball massively because you got a welcome pack, but I feel like Monica, you didn't get a welcome pack. I'm so sorry.
Well, I had one-on-one with you. So
Yeah. Oh. Monica, what is your takeaway? What is your feeling after tonight?
Okay, so to be honest, I actually took an Uber here tonight because I was too nervous to drive.
Oh.
And I'm actually terrified of public speaking, but tonight I found the space to be very safe and very comfortable. And just seeing everyone get up and speak so courageously has given me a little bit more motivation to do it maybe next time or the third time. But yeah, it was really great to meet so many people and yeah, be part of a group.
Great, so we're seeing you again.
Yes.
And we'll be in touch with you definitely. And then Martin, our table topics winner. What is your takeaway? What is your feeling in your heart tonight?
My feeling is great. It's very inspiring here to be here, and to hear all the speeches here. It was, on the one hand, it was hilarious because I didn't expect to propose to myself. And also, yeah, it was just funny and good vibes, and I really enjoyed everything. Good people, good vibes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. What is your takeaway from the feeling?
Well, I'd like to say three things. First of all, I think the topic was love, and I can just remember that this was the whole vibe of today. So I felt very, yeah, you all very kind, very loving, and I love that when I'm in this kind of an area. The second was that I was definitely able to get like things away with the speeches. So like I got a whole like
Sure.
I wrote it all down. So it was very valuable to hear the speeches and to analyze them for myself. And I mean, third takeaway is I got a recording of my bro. Like, that was also great. So yeah, great evidence.
Serious. Maybe you can use it as some PR file.
I will use it a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you, everybody. Our next meeting is the 21st of November, and it's an online meeting. So if anybody would like to please join us, let us know. We're all online. And the theme is Power to You. I think that's quite a lovely thing to think about. And then the other thing that's quite important for all of our Toastmasters members is we have our upcoming contest. It's in February. It's the 20th of February, I think, Gabriel. 20th of February. So you've got some time to prepare, and I encourage everyone who has finished level 2 to participate. So you do need to finish level 1 and level 2 before you can participate in the contests. However, you've got some time. So if you want to jam through those speeches, quick sticks before February, please do speak at Talking Heads, speak at other clubs. You don't just have to speak at our club if you are wanting to go through to the contests. There are contests for best speaker, so a prepared speech, 5 to 7 minutes. There's evaluation contests as well as table topics contests. All of them you need to be level 2. So let us know if you're interested. We'll plan around what needs to happen if you want to participate, and yay. And if you aren't participating, you get to help us with all the roles that we need for the night. So please be available. And we're doing it, last year it was a bit different. We did speech contest on one night, and then the next week or so we did evaluations and table topics in one night. However, this next year we're doing it all in one go. So it's one night. It'll probably be quite a long night, but exciting, rewarding for those that are participating and those that are encouraging. So yay, looking forward to that. Then I wanted to leave you this evening with a quote that I found by Victor Hugo, and it's of course around the theme love. The greatest happiness of life is the conviction that we are all loved. Loved for ourselves, or rather, loved in spite of ourselves. And then I also found this really, I think it's great. You can let me know what your thoughts are afterwards. Statement about love, and I hope it resonates with you. Love is the invisible thread that connects us all, weaving through the fabric of our existence, building us in moments of joy, comforting us in times of sorrow, and reminding us of our shared humanity. It's in the embrace of a loved one, the kindness shown to a stranger, and the compassion we offer ourselves. Love in all its forms is the purest essence of what makes us truly alive.
Beautiful.
So lovely, huh? And I thought of, Catherine, when I found this little statement, the kindness shown to a stranger took me straight to your speech where you told us, I remember you were in the lift and you said hello to the man in the lift and you thanked him for everything, and you spoke to us about showing kindness to strangers. So thank you for encouraging me there. Do you remember that? Was that your icebreaker? Or your second speech? So my words to you is to encourage you to love with your whole heart, not just with your brain, because I feel like sometimes we get stuck in our brain. And always show that kindness to others and to the strangers that you don't know that are passing you on the street. And most importantly, show yourself compassion. Thank you and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, John.
Bye-bye.
Well done,
Bye-bye.
Justine.
Bye. Lots of love.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.